Welcome to another edition of Anatomy of a Goal on MLSsoccer.com. I'm Greg Lawless. It's self-evident these days that midfielders and forwards have defensive responsibilities. Or at least it should be self-evident. Because Fabian Castillo's goal for FC Dallas in a 2-0 victory over Real Salt Lake on Saturday, March 23rd, 2013 shows just what the consequences are for a failure in this regard. Let's wind it back and break it down. And this play actually starts at the other end of the field when Real Salt Lake are in possession. Joao Plata loses the ball, rather cheaply actually, and Dallas winger Jackson takes control. At this point, there isn't any threat to RSL as Jackson turns and looks upfield. Except that the RSL players have gone into a kind of slouch. Look at Plata. He switches off for a second in frustration. And the Salt Lake midfielders are dropped way off. That's why Jackson is able to advance the ball 10 yards into RSL's half so easily. It's mind-boggling, and I can imagine RSL manager Jason Kreis just wants to kick something. Well, speaking of people who kick things, Dallas manager Schellas Hyndman, a registered black belt actually, is having a more typical time on the sidelines. He's got his big striker Eric Hasley set to sub on. For whom? Fabian Castillo, of course. Good thing the sub didn't happen yet, because once Jackson drives into the heart of the RSL midfield, he pings the ball to Castillo on the far side. And this long pass switches the field of play, as we say in soccer, and catches the RSL defense off guard. Their midfield has dropped down in the center so much that they left their flank wide open. Okay, Fabian Castillo is not the most nuanced player in the world. He has good skill on the ball, but his real weapon is speed. When facing a speedy winger, a defender has two choices. Show him inside if there is defensive support, or force him down the line where the sideline can act like an extra defender. But there are conditions attached to this choice. You can't show a winger down the line unless the action is truly taking place on the flank. In this case, it's not. It's too central, which means that when RSL right back Lavelle Palmer positions himself so that Castillo will go down the line, Castillo is not in a crossing situation, but instead can go straight to goal, and straight into the upper 90. Well, that's it for this episode of Anatomy of a Goal. I'm Greg Lawless. Join me again next time when we'll wind it back and break it down.